College? Classic? Did you say college classic campus? Well, sure you did. We're taking the time here to read chapter 4. Out of all the chapters here, we've already read so much about slavery and Frederick Douglass. And we're reading more and more, and we're finding out just how bad slavery truly was. And at any point, do we want slavery to return to America? Because some of the discipliners are a lot like ISIS. When you study ISIS and you study this slavery, you see a great similarity, a similitude, actually. And it must be warned, it must be told. So, without any further neglect, A Ray of Light, Chapter 4, College Classic Campus Hits, Frederick Douglass, Patriot and an Activist, by Marianne, Ruuth. At the age of 8 or so, Fredrick left Colonel Lloyd's plantation with searing joy in his heart. His master had decided that the boy should go to Baltimore to live with Sophia and Hugh Auld, the brother and sister-in-law of Captain Thomas Auld, who was married to the master's daughter, Lucretia. Being told of this 3 days before he was due to travel, Fredrick spent nearly all his time in the creek, washing himself thoroughly over and over again. Miss Lucretia had said that people in Baltimore are excessively clean, not like at the plantation. Also, if he could get it all, the dirt and the dry skin off, she would give him a pair of trousers. The thought of owning a pair of trousers made his head swim, so he scrubbed and scrubbed himself until his skin was raw. Aye. Being a slave, there was little for him to miss when he left. His mother was dead, his grandmother lived far off. He had 2 sisters and 1 brother living right there, but the early separation of them from their mother had nearly blotted out the fact of their relationship from their minds. To him, the move was an exciting change. It was almost a miracle to be one of all of the youngsters of the place to be chosen. Possibly he would encounter hardship, hunger, whipping, nakedness, but such ingredients would be in his own life if he were left at the plantation where the life as a field hand awaited him. He recalled a proverb of the time being handed to in England is preferable to dying a natural death in Ireland. Being hanged in England is preferable to a dying death in Ireland, natural death in Ireland. That summarized and summed it up. At least he would be in Baltimore. He had heard about all the wondrous things that the city had to offer. However great the Colonel Lloyd house on the plantation, the one with all the pictures on the walls, he was told that it was far inferior to many buildings in Baltimore. He left with high hopes a Saturday morning. Standing on the deck of the slope as it sailed out of Miles River in the afternoon of that day, they reached Annapolis, and although he couldn't go ashore, he gaped at the first large town he had ever seen. Early Sunday morning, they landed at Smith's Wharf. On board was a flock of sheep, and the eager boy helped to drive them to the slaughterhouse, after which he was taken to his new home in Alacania Street in the Falls Point section of Baltimore. On the way, he looked at everything with big eyes, astonished to see that nearly everyone wore shoes. Mr. and Mrs. Auld were both at home, and he met their little son Thomas. It would be his job to take care of the cheerful toddler. "This is your Freddie, Tommy." For the first time in his life, he saw a white face. Oh, excuse me. For the first time in his life, he saw a white face radiating kindness, that of his new mistress, Sophia Auld. Later, he would say that it had not been for this decisive move to Baltimore, and especially to Sophia Auld's care when he first arrived, chances are he would have lived out his life as a scarred, overworked, starved plantation slave. What an immense loss it would have been to this nation and its people, black and white. My. Here we see that slavery is taking its toll. It's a manner in which we can't believe today and hope not to see ever again in America. This college classic campus. I'm T.C. Barra.